Getting so much benefit out of reading it just on my own. So I'm so excited that, that you brought this to the forefront. I got an email just the other day from a woman from Texas who bought it for her sister and her nephew. Unfortunately, it didn't make its way to her nephew and sister because the sister refused to read it and refused to read it with her child and refused to give it to her child. So she reported to me, the aunt, that she lost 50 pounds just from reading my book. And it was really kind, but she said, I hope this book gets out to millions. People need this book. It's also a book that I could gladly say that it's really based on stuckness. So it doesn't matter whether it's being overweight or any other type of issue, but it does carry over to any kind of stuckness. I can tell you, yes, she notices it. She has to. She has to. How could she not? I mean, the mirror showcases it every single day. As much as you don't want her to notice it, she notices it. She notices that she can't quite fit into the clothes she wants to fit into. She knows that she doesn't feel comfortable being with the in-girls because she can't be like them. She notices it. And when you don't say something, you're ignoring the obvious.
But how do you...
But think about that. I want you to think about that. When you're ignoring the obvious, how do you think it makes a child feel? Right?
Well, they always say sometimes, parents' expectations, you should accept children as they are and love them as they are, and they are who they are, and because you would like to see them thinner and more integrated.
Well, but is it thinner? Well, we're not talking about thinner, because that's really not. We're not talking about weight. We're not talking about thinness, because we really have to get away from that. And I really don't talk. You don't see weight mentioned in my book at all, actually. And I have to tell you, I fought tooth and nail for that. Because after going through publishers, and I could sit here and tell you just a story about all of that. People don't get it. They don't. They don't. I personally do not step foot on a scale ever. I don't believe in scales. When I'm in a spin class, they have these, kind of guides that tell you your cadence. Never turned it on, ever. Because I believe that, again, first of all, for kids, it's counterproductive to talk about weight. Because what happens if you think about it, we do the same as adults, right? If we say, my goal is, right, we say to ourselves, I need to fit into my dress, right, for my cousin's wedding, right? And then what happens when you come to your cousin's wedding? You fit into this fabulous dress. And what happens after the cousin's wedding?
Eat at the wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's a goal. Goals end. Values are forever. Okay? Values are forever and ever. So for me, or for what I teach these kids, it's about their self-confidence. So if you could, not thin, if you could feel better in your body, if you could be proud of your accomplishments, if you could look at yourself and feel proud of yourself, that's gonna stick. That doesn't only lend to you fitting into your, whatever you're trying to fit into, but it allows you to enter the world and saying, I can fit into that cool group, because I'm just as good as that, right? So that's just one thing, one accomplishment, whether it's their academics, whether it's whatever they want to achieve. This is just another thing. It's not about weight. It's not about thinness. It's about a sense of accomplishment. It's a challenge that they're looking to achieve. And we have, as adults, we have challenges that we're looking to accomplish all the time. And it lends to our self-confidence, and it allows us to have a better sense of self so we can feel accomplished. Isn't that what we want? I'm going to be doing a study on 9 families who are interested in going through the book with me, but doing it as groups, a group of parents and a group of kids. And I'm going to be doing a pre and post tested research design, seeing the benefit, obviously, of these tools for working with these families. And I had a parent reach out to me literally from India. He's going to be on Skype calls with me. His kids, he announced to me that his kids are too young. His kids are 6 and 4, but he really feels indebted to wanting to help them as they grow older in their health. And he insists on being on these calls. There's no resources out there for kids. They're very isolated, and they feel different than their peers. And a lot of them are, but there are a lot of them out there. So, it's going to be a really powerful experience to get feedback from them. We're going to do, like I said, a pre-test, a post-test, and then also a longitudinal test, which studies them over time and to see the effectiveness of these skills over time for them. It's most beneficial, obviously, if you could, make the groups. We're going to try to run it at a time where most people could attend, of course. It's going to be in Westchester, in Harrison, New York. So because it's short term, hopefully people could still come from Long Island, Brooklyn, Manhattan, wherever they live. Like I said, we'll try to do it at a time that will be convenient for most people. Like I said, I have somebody who's Skyping in from India. So we'll have other people join as well as they need to. And it's going to be really, really exciting. It's going to be research-based. Even though this is all research-based and it's also conducted, I did a lot of focus groups of nutritionists, healthcare providers. I also did focus groups at the Boys and Girls Clubs with parents and also kids as well. But I really want an opportunity to very consistently focus on the skills with them first-handedly, experientially, to see how the impact that it makes. So we're very excited about it coming up. And right now I'm doing assessments for the families. We need to make sure, obviously, that it's families that are compatible.
To get involved in your study, or how's that working, or how are you taking families and that kind of thing?
So the study that I'm going to be conducting is actually, I'm offering it for free, which is a big gift. And it's going to be from 6 to 12 weeks. What we're going to do is go over the chapters in the book, and I will meet with parents and kids separately, which is very exciting, because part of this issue is feeling isolated. Parents really don't have a place to speak about their concerns, and either do kids, and especially for kids to normalize the issue for them because they feel so isolated. I can't even tell you how many kids I've had who went to Weight Watchers and they came back and they're like, I was sitting with a bunch of 30, 40, and 50-year-olds. I went there once and never went back again.